A lot of people keep asking me to take the political compass test. Today I'm going to explain why it's not as accurate as you think. Hi, thanks for watching. First, I want to thank Sean for allowing me to present a guest video on his channel. My name is Tom Coffey. I live in Portland, Oregon, and I have a much smaller YouTube channel. So big thanks to Sean for allowing me to share this video with y'all. Today I want to talk about the political compass test. Now, if you've been online in the past decade or so, you've probably seen this. It's a popular meme. It shows up on 4chan all the time. I can't get beyond it, and people keep asking me on my channel to take this test. And I've looked into the test, and I want to share what I've learned with you. Now, if you're unfamiliar, the political compass test is a 61-question test, and in it you answer questions. I strongly agree, I disagree, or I strongly disagree. There's no middle ground. You have to make a decision. And in it, they will tell you where you are politically. Now, they plot this on a matrix. On the top would be authoritarian, on the bottom would be libertarian, and then socially it would be left and right. So more progressive or more conservative. Now, many of the questions I think are fair and accurate, and they would let you know how someone is politically. But many of the questions don't even make sense to me. And I don't think how you answer it really shows where you are politically. I'd like to give you a couple examples. Now, the first two examples I'll give you are economic questions. Now, some people have gone through and reverse engineered the test and figured out each question, how many points it's worth. Essentially, this is like a fancy BuzzFeed quiz, but for politics. Now, the first economic question I want to talk about is question number 8. People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality. Now, right off the bat, you could think, well, that probably makes sense. You know, you think about it, a middle-class, middle-aged dude living in Portland versus a middle-aged, middle-class dude living in Vancouver, BC. We probably have a lot more in common than, billionaires in this country. So, yeah, I guess I would agree with that. But then you think, well, wait a minute. We didn't say what nationality. Would I have as much in common with a middle-aged, middle-class guy in North Korea or Nigeria? Probably not. That's probably a much bigger difference than it would be class-wise in my own country. If there's a millionaire living here in Portland, I probably have a lot more in common with them than with a guy the same class in North Korea. So if I thought about it that way, I would disagree. But if I thought about it in the other way, I would agree. I'm not sure how to answer this question. And how I answer this question, it's going to determine if it moves me further toward authoritarian or further toward libertarian. Well, I don't know how to answer this question, and this question kind of seems like a waste of time. It depends on how you read it. Okay, well, so that's one bad question. Let's look at another question. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought or sold. One issue that I have with this question right off the bat is I don't think most people know what a commodity is. They chose to use the word commodity. So let's think about that. A commodity is something that is interchangeable, like, for example, corn or coffee or marijuana, right? Depending on the crop, you would have like a grade A double A grade, a C grade of coffee. And when you're buying a commodity, it doesn't matter exactly what you're getting that grade, it's interchangeable. That's how it works. When you think about land, right? Land is property, real estate. You always hear it's location, location, location. So maybe all swampland would be the same grade and maybe all beachfront properties would be the same. But are they really the same? Let's think about property downtown. Would the block across the street from the mayor's office be worth the same as the block across the street from the homeless shelter? Probably not. we don't really think of land as a commodity. And anyone that thought of land as a commodity would probably be taken advantage of. So the writers of this test, that's the word they used. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought or sold. And no, land isn't a commodity. Everyone would have to disagree with this. The question is just dumb. And I think it's unfortunate to phrase it in such a way that probably most people would misunderstand the question. So those two questions are examples to show you if you're more authoritarian or more libertarian. They kind of seem like a waste. Let's look at some of the social questions on this test. It is a waste of time to try to rehabilitate some criminals. I think about this for myself, and I think, some, right? That's greater than zero. I'm being literal here. Some criminals probably is a waste. We probably can't rehabilitate all criminals. Does that make me a right-winger? Well, according to this test, it would. It would push me toward the more conservative side. What if I believed in my heart that not everyone can be rehabilitated, but we should try to rehabilitate everyone? I would still have to answer the question that would push my score to being more conservative. In fact, I could go out and picket and try to gather votes so that we gave free college tuition to every single person that went to prison. That could be my thing. Even though I thought that, we probably couldn't rehabilitate all of them, but I want to give free college tuition to every person in prison. That could be my thought. But if I answered this question the way it's phrased, it would still put me toward the conservative side. Well, that doesn't make any sense. That's just dumb. Here's another question. Astrology accurately explains many things. Well, spoiler alert, astrology is bogus. However, when you look at the scoring for this question, if you believe in astrology, it pushes you more to the socially conservative side. And if you don't believe in astrology, it pushes you more toward the socially progressive side. Well, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I live here in Portland. It's a pretty left-wing city, and I got to tell you, there are many, many people that believe in astrology that are very left-wing. I think if I heard that someone believed in astrology, I don't know that I could make a determination whether they were more progressive or more conservative. To me, it would just be that they're more naive, I guess. But this test scores it as such that if you believe something dumb, you're more conservative. Well, that doesn't sound fair to me. And I don't think your opinion on astrology has anything to do with whether you're more socially conservative or socially liberal. These two examples are social questions that I think really don't make a whole lot of sense when you look at how they're scored on this test. I'll give you one bonus question, and this is the last question of the test. We are too open about sex and sexuality today. Now, if you agree with this, you're more conservative. If you disagree with this, you're more liberal. But if you were to ask me, hey, Tom, are we too open about sex and sexuality? I say it depends on who's talking, right? If I'm in a movie theater and I'm sitting behind some people and they're overweight and they have greasy hair and they're ugly, yeah, I don't want to hear about their sex or their sexuality. I don't want to hear it. Now, on the other hand, if they were Instagram models, yeah, I'd like to hear that. Sign me up. But because I don't want to hear about the sex and sexuality of ugly people, somehow that makes me more conservative? That doesn't make any sense. I'm not buying this at all. But now I want to talk about what's really important when it comes to where someone is politically. One thing this test did not do was ask, how important are politics to you? Some people, politics are everything. Some people, politics are nothing. I have a friend, and we talked about this yesterday. I said, wow, we've been hanging out for years. We never talk about politics. It's like, yeah, we don't talk about politics. They don't care about politics at all. It's a waste of time because they don't even know anything about it. They don't care. And that's okay with me. I can have a friend that doesn't care about politics. We talk about life, we talk about making music, we talk about entertainment. We don't talk about politics. And that works. But what if politics are really important to you? Well, another question that's important is, are you reasonable? Some people are very reasonable. I think that I can have discussions with reasonable people no matter what their politics. And there are other people that we may agree on almost everything, but they're totally unreasonable, and it's worthless to even try to talk to them. One thing that you can ask yourself, is the truth important to you? Or is your side winning important to you? I have friends that it is much more important that their political side is the winner than what the truth is. They don't care about the truth. What they care about is winning. And I understand that's their point of view. So I don't talk with them about things that we may disagree about politically, because it's not going to go anywhere. We have different objectives. Something else that's important in politics is, how defensive are you? How do you react if people say something that you may disagree with? Well, to me, I'm okay with being wrong. I'm wrong a lot. I'm wrong every day about something. So it's not a big deal to me. But some people, especially on Twitter, if you disagree even the slightest, they just go nuts. And this political compass test doesn't gauge that at all. People ask me where I am on the political compass, and I'll tell you, I'm on the lower left. I'm left libertarian. But I don't think that accurately explains where I am politically. I think I could come up with questions that could accurately explain where someone is politically a lot more accurately, such as, do you think CNN is a good news source? Do you believe in equality or equity? Do you want to treat everyone equally, no matter their race or their gender or their sexual orientation? Or do you want to obsess about all these things endlessly? But that's the thing. This political compass test, it's kind of a waste of time, but it might be a little fun. It's like a BuzzFeed test to find out which house of Harry Potter you're in, or which Spice Girl are you. It's fun, but I don't think it really explains that much. And if you've made it this far, you might actually like my channel, so check it out. I make videos on a lot of topics, not just politics. Thanks for watching. Peace.